Stardew Valley is a huge game, and one thing that I love about Stardew Valley is that there's just so much to learn about the game and the development process of it. The lore surrounding it all just runs so deep. I mean, I've been playing Stardew Valley since 2017 and I'm still learning new things about the game to this day, which says a lot because knowing things about Stardew Valley is now kind of my job. So I thought it would be a fun idea to compile a bunch of random, obscure fun facts about Stardew Valley that may or may not have any use at all to your gameplay, but they're interesting to know nonetheless. These fun facts will range from old trivia about the game to new trivia that's been added post 1.6. Because sometimes some of the older fun facts can be forgotten about when there's so much new information about the game with the most recent update. So without any further ado, here is 14 minutes of useless fun facts about Stardew Valley. Plus a short little sponsored segment by Red Art Games in the middle. Mama's got bills to pay. It's no secret that Sebastian is a smoker, but did you know that in an early version of Stardew Valley, Sebastian had a straight up bong in his spouse room if you married him? This feature was sadly patched out in an update to just be a normal, boring looking vase. And there's photo evidence of the bong vase being present in his normal bedroom as well. And you could even click on it and it said, "It smells of potent burnt grass." But when you try to click on the vase now, it doesn't do anything. And now the vase that was in his regular bedroom is just an unplugged radio. Boring. The reason behind this change has never been clearly stated by ConcernedApe, but it seems that this feature made some players uncomfortable back in 2016 when the game first released, as there were a few complaints on official forums. And at the beginning of Stardew Valley's release, its publisher was Chucklefish, and it's quite possible that they pushed for ConcernedApe to edit out the bong to keep the game at an E for everyone rating. I do find it a bit funny that Shane's whole storyline about abuse, suicidal thoughts, and alcoholism is totally fine, but a subtle drug reference? No way. But if you really want Sebastian's bong back, and you have access to mods, there is a mod called Bring Sebastian's Bong Back on Nexus Mods that does exactly what the title claims. And you can even customize it. You have the choice between 17 static colors and even an animated prismatic bong. Now let's talk about the one, the only, Krobus, my beloved. Krobus has so many fun little facts about him that I couldn't just stick to one. So allow us to discuss some Krobus lore. Krobus is a little guy who lives in the sewers of Pelican Town. Krobus's people are said to have crossed into the physical plane after, quote, a great catastrophe. And he states that his name means bridge crosser in his language. Krobus remains silent on Fridays out of respect for Yoba, an ancient guardian deity in Stardew Valley. If you try to speak to him on Fridays, he will simply say, but there are some exceptions that will get him to speak on Fridays. Those circumstances being your first meeting, attempting to give him a gift after he's been evicted as a roommate, speaking to him about the Dark Talisman quest, or gifting him a Void Ghost pendant. Attempting to give Krobus a movie ticket on Friday results in a dialogue saying, Krobus looks puzzled. Krobus will not attend movies on Fridays. Krobus does not love any movies at the movie theater. However, he does like Mysterium, although he's disappointed with the Shadow People representation. I need to see an in-depth Krobus letterboxd review of Mysterium so badly. And lastly, if you drink void mayonnaise in front of him, he will respond by saying, yummy. What a guy. So I'm sure we're all aware of Willy, the local fisherman of Pelican Town. But did you know that at one point before the game was released, Willy was originally going to be named Dick? And we know this because this can still be found in the game files. And you may know that the term Willy can be used in British slang as a way to say, weenus. And I just find it extra funny that Willy, formerly known as Dick, just so happens to give you his rod. You know, at a certain point, ConcernedApe should have just fully committed and named the man Penis. Up until version 1.3.32 of the game, Stardew Valley was technically in violation with the Geneva Convention for having a red cross on the medical building in the town. In the US, using the red cross is a violation of 18 USC 706. The argument that the International Committee of the Red Cross makes for this rule is that marking authentic disaster relief and wartime aid are considered to be such important functions that there can be no room for any possible confusion. So having the Red Cross even on a virtual hospital building was a big no-no. And if you take a look at the version history patch notes in the Stardew Valley wiki, in version 1.3.32, one of the bug fix notes says, fixed a Geneva Convention violation by replacing red crosses in graphics. And now the building has a blue cross instead of a red one. Skull Cavern is one of 3 mines in Stardew Valley. It is technically an endless mine that can be unlocked after reaching the bottom of the mines in Pelican Town and repairing the bus to unlock Calico Desert. If you've been inside the Skull Caves, you may or may not have noticed these plaques on the walls of these caves that seem to have nonsense written on them. But these enciphered texts have actually been fully translated by players. The plaques that are found on the rough-walled levels have been deciphered to say the following: "We are cursed. Too much iridium." This may be a reference to the purple slimes that can drop iridium ore that are frequently found in large numbers at these levels. The plaques on the walls of the levels inhabited by mummies have been deciphered to say the following: "Wizards sealed us in this prison until the day a hero puts us to rest." This may or may not refer to the wizard who lives in Cindersap Forest, but it's unclear why he would have sealed these souls away, as it's never alluded to by any of the wizard's dialogue. And there's also another plaque that can be found in the forge of the Volcano dungeon on Ginger Island that's written in Dwarvish. It has been translated to say, "Our ancestors came from the sky, but made a new home beneath stone." In the Stardew Valley 1.6.9 update, there was an ominous patch note that says, "Added new Easter eggs," without any elaboration. And a user in the Stardew Valley subreddit found one of them. They said, "I had something really strange happen to me while I was in the secret woods. I was fishing for carp in the little pond when I noticed something in the corner of my vision. A humanoid, Bigfoot-looking sprite walked across my screen right beneath the pond and disappeared into the foliage, all within the span of a second or two. It freaked me out since I'd never seen anything like this in the game. The alien is the only comparable thing, and I'm 100% certain it was not the alien, since this sprite was a lot bigger. I didn't get to look at it long and the area was pretty dark, but it definitely looked like Sasquatch to me." And other users responded with screenshots of this mysterious being as well. There's very little information on this beast in the Stardew Valley wiki. It simply says, "There's a small random chance to see a large dark creature at night in Pelican Town, Cindersap Forest, or the Secret Woods. This creature is larger than the dark creature that may appear after the strange capsule event. There's a very small random chance that this creature will leave a footprint behind." Fellow Stardew Valley content creator and code diver Blade recently made a deep dive video into this creature where he discovered the circumstances that causes the creature to spawn. And now we have an up-close illuminated look at this new beast and the potential footprints that it may leave behind. Bigfoot in Stardew Valley confirmed. Concerned Ape is pretty protective over Stardew Valley's IP, but there are 2 games that have Stardew Valley references in them, approved by Concerned Ape. One of those games being Terraria, the 2011 action-adventure sandbox game developed by Relogic. In Terraria version 1.4.4, there were new familiar items and pets from Stardew Valley added into the game. Those items being blue chickens, Junimos, Stardrops, and Joja Cola. And more recently, Stardew Valley was added as a reference in Balatro, a poker-themed roguelike deck-building video game developed by Local Thunk. And this game has actually recently been nominated for Game of the Year. There's a full Stardew Valley-themed card deck designed by the one and only Concerned Ape himself. It's so cool to see some of these Stardew Valley characters reimagined in a new art style by the creator himself. And speaking of other games, let's take a quick moment to talk about today's sponsor, Red Art Games, publisher of Elrentaros Wanderings, a super fun hybrid game that blends romance life sim elements with a dungeon crawler action RPG approach. The town portions of the game are filled with charming and unique townsfolk, stunning character designs, fun dialogue, and a very intriguing storyline. And the dungeon exploration features incredibly satisfying and addictive combat that can be toggled to the difficulty of your liking. There's a very good variety of enemies to slay, fun bosses to battle, and stunning caves to explore. The gameplay loop of chatting up the townsfolk, shopping around, and dungeon diving is super addictive and very engaging, and it runs like a dream on the Nintendo Switch. And Elrentaros Wanderings has come out with a physical release of the game for the Nintendo Switch, along with a few additions to choose from, with fun collectibles and goodies that come along with it. First, we have the standard edition that comes with the physical game, a sleeve, sticker sheets, and a keychain. The deluxe edition that comes with all of that, plus a 30-page art book and an acrylic stand art piece. And finally, the collector's edition that comes with the game, a steel case, 3 enamel pins, a keychain, sticker sheet, and a double-sided poster. And these physical editions can all be found through the link in my description. Thank you so much to Red Art Games for sponsoring this video. Let's get back to it. There are 2 secrets that have to do with the piano that is located inside Elliott's cabin on the beach. When Elliott is working at his desk, playing the first 8 notes of the Stardew Valley Overture on the piano will make Elliott turn towards the player with a heart emote. If you label the piano keys 1 to 4 from left to right, the tune can be played with these notes at any speed. This does not affect his friendship with the player, but it's still a fun little secret. But there's also an Easter egg that only occurs for specific players called Bad at Music. In multiplayer mode, if a player's randomized unique ID is divisible by 111, you will be cursed with tone deafness. This causes the piano in Elliott's cabin to play off-key tones instead of the usual ones, and the piano Easter egg will not trigger. This will also cause the little music emote to produce a random off-tune strum instead of one of the normal melodies. If you started playing Stardew Valley for the first time after update 1.5, you've most likely encountered the Stone Owl event where overnight an owl sound effect plays and a unique stone owl appears on a random spot on your farm. But did you know that this stone owl used to be an exceptionally rare event? Like, it was nearly impossible to get. See, in the 1.5 update, a bug was fixed. A patch note from this update states, the random stone owl and strange capsule night events are now much less rare. So, there has always been a 1% chance that the owl event triggers overnight. And when the event triggers, the game will then look at 50 random tiles on your farm. But before the 1.5 update, if even one of those tiles was blocked by anything, the game would not complete the event. So the event would be unsuccessful. But now when the game scans those 50 tiles, if even one of those tiles is unblocked, the game will complete the event. And this makes a huge difference. Now just about everyone will get at least one stone owl in a save if they play it long enough. There's another new 1.6 Easter egg that has recently been discovered. This Easter egg is a secret achievement that can be claimed called the Iridium Stackmaster Trophy. This is an achievement that pops up in a text box in the bottom left corner of your screen after you've picked up 1 million of the same item. This can be done by dropping stacks of 999 items, like prismatic shards, for example, and picking them up quickly until the number on the side reaches 1 million. As you're stacking your items and reaching certain milestones, there will be some ... text that pop up, hinting that you should keep going on this weird task. And when you hit the halfway mark, dialogue will pop up asking if you're shooting for 1 million. And then when you reach 1 million, you will be granted the Iridium Stackmaster Trophy, and the one and only Mr. Key will congratulate you on this feat. This achievement does not do anything of significance for the player, and there is no actual trophy given to the player, and there are no further achievements for anything after 1 million. So you really just have to be bored out of your mind to want to achieve it. Also, if you're wondering, this took me roughly 7 minutes to do. One thing that makes Stardew Valley so great is its sound design. Everything from the music, to the soundscapes, to the subtle sound effects. In a recent interview with Concerned Ape conducted by Felix Sanchez, Concerned Ape was asked how he made the sound effects in Stardew Valley, to which Concerned Ape revealed that most of the sound effects that we hear are just synthesizers, and he would just go in and tweak the waveforms until he got something that sounded right. And there are also a few ambient soundscapes that he got on some royalty-free websites. But there are a couple sounds that he actually recorded in real life. He noted specifically that the sounds that play when breaking rocks with a pickaxe is actually a real-life sound of Concerned Ape himself throwing rocks out on the lawn of his parents' house. How interesting. I would pay real-life money to go back in time and listen in on those rock-throwing sounds to hear the OG recordings of those iconic rock-breaking sounds. And that, my friends, are all of the useless fun facts about Stardew Valley that I have compiled for this video. Do you know of any more useless fun facts that I didn't mention in this video? Please feel free to leave them in the comment section down below. I would love to read them. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.